Well, holy crap. We got some things to discuss from this weekend. First ever ROVAL race and road course race in the playoffs. Um, Holy hell, was it a shit show like I knew it would be. Like the first half was so, like there was some good action, not many cautions, just like the stages and a few cars here and there will go like and cause something to happen. But other than that, not much happened in the first half. But the second half, that got wild. Like, let's see. There was a huge wreck going into turn one with 6 laps to go. Larson beat the shit out of his car. Like, his car was, like, mangled by the end of that race. Just some championship playoff contenders had some issues. Austin Dillon got out of the race early because he ran into the wall. Kyle Busch was out. Keselowski was out. But it doesn't matter because they're locked in the playoffs, so it didn't matter to them if they were running or not at the end of that race. But the real drama occurred last lap, where everyone's having a hissy fit. Absolute hissy fit over two drivers. One being 7-time champion, Jimmie Johnson, going for a win, and Martin Truex Jr., who's now officially the biggest dumbass of all Toyota drivers. And not saying it's something because Busch is up there too. So, but this week Truex takes the cake, and a lot of people have lost respect for him. And let me explain why. So last lap they go into the chicane, whatever that thing is, before the start-finish line. Jimmy is right on the back bumper of Martin Truex, hoping to get around him, like go to like his inside, but locked up his brakes, and so did Truex going to that turn. And Jimmy just lost it and spun, barely clipping Truex, and Jimmy spun around and backed into Truex, putting Truex into the wall the last turn. So both of them were like just sitting ducks, and then I was like, come on, Jimmy, just go. And then all you see is the third place car, who is Ryan Blaney, took advantage and came and won the race. First one of the season, first one in the 12 car, and first one at Penske. So, and he's moving on to the round of 12 because he was right on the bubble with Bowman, and it was just. Anyway, people have been like saying such rude things about Jimmy after that, but let me talk about the Truex incident. After that happened, Truex thought he got wrecked out on purpose. And let me remind you, he shouldn't be pissed at all, considering he's already locked in on points to the next round. So what was winning gonna do? Nothing. It would just solidified it even more, but he'd still be locked in regardless. Jamie, on the other hand, on like a 51 winless streak, and was running the best race of the season. To him, like to me, that was just the best race he's run all season. He was like chasing people down, being aggressive, and he was not taking crap from anybody. So, as a driver and a champion like Jimmy, and to be where he is right now, he took chances. He risks it and goes for the win. He doesn't settle for second. He doesn't, and no driver wants to settle for second. If you're a champion, a true champion, Truex, you would go after a win, not just points and hope you make it in. But it all came down to a 3-way damn tie with Larson and Almirola, which Jimmy got shit out on. So for the first time since 2015, Jimmy doesn't make it past the first round. But it is what it is. To be honest, I am proud of Jimmy, even though it sucks to see him out, and his face just afterwards getting the news was heartbreaking. But I'm proud of him for sticking up for himself, and he had no reason to apologize to Truex fans because they're all evil. All evil. They're like threatening Jimmy and saying rude things. And I'm like, how about next time your driver goes and intentionally turns another driver on a cooldown lap, make sure you have a better resume than he does, because you are light years behind Jimmy's records. He holds like all the records at this point. You're just an insignificant little driver in a Toyota Camry who lost his ride and his team. So the thing is, don't get me wrong, I used to like Truex at the beginning because he was like one of the underdogs and not really winning as much, but the whole his girlfriend with cancer thing that kept getting shoved down our throats just for like the sympathy vote. And don't get me wrong, cancer is a terrible thing. I don't wish cancer on anybody, and that's just awful. Like, I praise her for her strength and just fight through this entire thing, but it's just a sob story after sob story with this driver. And it got to the point after he got started, his team was aligned with JGR, things changed. He started winning more, and his ego got the best of him. And yesterday, was a clear example of it. His post-race interview was the most shallow thing I've ever heard in my life. Shallow. He called basically Jimmy stupid for going for a win. I'm like, if you were in his position, you would have done the same damn thing. Don't even be a hypocrite about this. So, and I'm blanking. Hold on, give me a second. It says like the silver lining is that I guess with him out, I guess that's a silver lining. I'm like, you realize that you forget that you came from a time where you could barely win races, and now you're winning multiple races a year. You don't think Jimmy's going through that right now? Yes, he may be with like the best team in NASCAR, record-wise. But every single great driver goes through slumps. Jeff Gordon went through a slump, and he's one of the best there is. And Jimmy, the best there is, been in the playoffs every single freaking year since like the beginning of this playoff format. Like, this is the first time since 2015 he hasn't made the second round. Second time. That just shows how good he is. The only 2 times he has failed to make the second round, that's pretty damn good. One bad season and people are calling him a has-been. I'm sorry, but he's already solidifies himself as the badass GOAT of this sport. It's not Kyle Busch. It's not Truex. It's not Harvick. It's not the best driver in that field, regardless how his season has gone, is Jimmy Johnson. Clearly the classiest, nicest, most down-to-earth, humble driver and champion in the field. All the rest are not like that. Brad's not like that. Kyle's not like that. And Truex clearly is not like that. People say, oh, he's classy and this and that. Sunday, he did not show that. He was a big baby, just like the rest of JGR. So, I'm just saying. And that chicken shit move after the race was over, he charged after Jimmy and nailed the back end of his car. You need to realize that at that point he could have taken his safety stuff, like his belts off and everything, and that's freaking dangerous. That's almost a repeat of happened like a few years ago when everyone was after Brad or whoever the hell it was, and because someone had their safety equipment off already, and it was just ridiculous. Anyway, the real winner here, Ryan Blaney. Let's talk about him for a second. Second career win and first one at the ROVAL, inaugural. Let's just say that. And topped the next round of 12. My boys made it in to the next round. And my boy is quite the road racer. Qualified well. Finished with another top 10. Like all 3 road course races this year, Chase is the only one who has finished inside the top 10 in all those races this year. So, yeah. Anyway, so Denny got eliminated, which is not shocking, because that comment he made about after Indy really bit him in the ass. If you don't know, go watch my previous video about Indy. Jones is out, which is expected because he's not that good. He struggled all day yesterday. Jimmy sadly got eliminated. Who else got eliminated? Oh yeah, Austin, because he kind of wrecked out early. Kind of sucks about him. I'm like, damn it. Anyway, I'm super happy for Blaney. It's like he had so much bad luck this year with like being the dominant car, leading laps and winning stages, but could not finish it out because of like just bad luck. It was just heartbreaking. Like that one race at Bristol where he was leading all these laps, just super good, looking like he was gonna win, but a lapped car ruined that for him and wrecked out. So this is much a well-deserved win because he was in the right place at the right time, and someone said he did not deserve that win because it just came out of luck. I'm like, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but yesterday he was both because he was right there at the right time in third, and as the 2 leaders spun out, he took advantage and was right there, victory lane, and it was just amazing. I was so happy. I was screaming, jumping up and down. So I'm just happy he won. All of Penske's through to the next round. All of Stewart Haas's to the next round. Only 2 Toyotas are Truex and Busch. So the manufacturers, 2 other manufacturers outweigh the Toyotas in this case. So 3 Chevys, Larson, Bowman, my Arizona boy, driver made it in, and Chase. So we'll move on to Dover. Great racetrack for Chase and Jimmy. So watch for one of those 2 to make it to victory lane, and watch for Jimmy to get some revenge. And just the revenge of getting to victory lane and being robbed of moving on to the next round. So that is what it is. We'll see you in Dover.